Since its inception in 2008, Perfios Software Solutions has been a trusted and dependable SaaS player in the BFSI space. Joining me today is Sabyasachi Goswami, CEO Perfios, to speak about the company's journey, strategy, and future plans. Sabya, welcome to this conversation.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolute delight to have you with us. It's been 15 years now, since Perfios came into being. Now, how has been the journey so far, and what has been the factors that have driven your success?
Right. So I think first, it has been an amazing, exciting journey. A lot of roller coaster ride, I must say.
Absolutely.
Initial days full of learning, and the learning has never stopped. So let me take you back to 2008, a humble beginning where two technocrats, Mr. Govindrajan and Debashish, coming together. And what we were trying to build is the personal finance management app, which we call it in a common parlance a PFM app, or personal finance app. Actually, we wanted to move people away from Excel and look at the 360-degree view of the entire financials on the personal space, which is like a Mint in US.
Right.
Now, obviously, the B2C has its own kind of challenges, but obviously as technology and the greatest of the minds coming together initially as the founding team, we put together an app and built a platform which can aggregate any kind of data, and not only aggregate but understand the meaning of it, curate it, analyze it, and put it for different kind of use. But while the first 2 years was more about understanding, doing our internal research, coming out with the product, all of that, when we hit the ground, which is when actually rubber meets the road, is when we come to know exactly what are the things that we should have taken into account. I think we took the Indian consumers lightly. Specifically, what we see, over net, people are a little resistant over paying a lot of money. So monetization is a challenge, but look at the time period. We also realized the opportunity during that time. It's fresh out of 2008. The financial institutions were going through crisis. They wanted to build a profitable book with lower NPAs. The next is to build the higher credit efficiency with a lower credit cost. And third, while doing the above two, how to give a seamless experience to the end consumers like you and me.
Absolutely.
And we built a platform which actually does that in a way, though the use case was different, that was more for a personal finance space. But we realized that it can be given for different vertical use cases just to solve the three that I spoke about. And that's where the shift happened. And we slowly shifted gears and moved to B2B. And we approached the progressive banks and NBFCs those days. And I think few gave us a thumbs up, few gave thumbs down. But we looked at it positively, the people who gave thumbs up, and we experimented. And I think no looking back thereafter. And here we are today, what we see, we work with 1,000 plus clients, 300 plus APIs, 75 plus products.
Absolutely. So it's been an exciting journey. So
Absolutely.
When you mentioned about being in the market at the right time with the right product, and I have been interacting with CIOs, and trust me, I'm not boasting here, but they have told me that Perfios always tries to understand the pain points of the customer, which is very essential before you roll out a product. While that has worked for you, I believe there's a lot of innovation strategy that goes behind it, and there is an innovation council within Perfios itself. Now, how are you, driving that innovation strategy within?
So on the innovation front, one of the things that we're doing is, if you see, we address the end-to-end customer life cycle. When you say end-to-end customer life cycle, it starts from origination, onboarding, decisioning, the support, ops, and then collections. That's typically from a lending perspective. But when we build any kind of solutions like this, what we see is we are industry agnostic, segment interest. Let's say onboarding solutions. So onboarding is required as much by the finance industry is required by manufacturing also, FMCG also. So I am agnostic. Today we may not be focusing, but we are all open. If the time comes, we'll also open our onboarding solutions to other industry. Likewise, we have created a solution from an adjacent domain perspective, which is an advent of innovation, which is for the HR domain. So we have created solution to address HR-centric problems.
Right.
Likewise, if you see digital transformation, one of the biggest noise that you keep reading when you open everyday morning newspaper is some kind of fraud would have happened somewhere.
True. Yes.
Right? With such big population, not financially aware on a lot of aspects, we tend to do some or perform some action which leads to a financial fraud. So there is a demand where we feel that innovation has to happen on the financial fraud domain, and hence we already have some solutions, but we are building on top of it further more solutions to tackle fraud.
Right.
Right? That's on an individual level, at an entity level, at an overall bank level. We're deploying different kind of solutions. So that's another thing that we have come out from an innovation and innovation council. The next that we see is, like as I said, insurance. Now in insurance also, if you see, there are enough frauds that happen on the claim processing side.
Right.
When you deploy the claim, there are frauds. Some are intentional, some are not intentional, we don't know. But what we see is there are enough fraud, wastage, abuse that happens. When I say wastage and abuse means you get admitted for an XY disease, but you are medicated or given a different kind of medicines, which is not warranted for the disease that is detected, right? How do you check all of these? So I think that's again a different aspect of fraud. So if I extrapolate that, innovation for us is real life problems.
True.
Right?
Yes.
Which practically will go and solve the pain points of the end consumers. The channel may be either bank or a insurance or a capital market or someone, right? That's how we'll look and approach innovation. Now when you talk of innovation, innovation can be led in two forms. One is outside in view, one is inside out view,
Right.
and we practice both. So while we are very, very high on the relationship with our clients, we get an outside in view, what is the challenge that they have in hand and what is the challenge that they anticipate
Right.
in the next 2-3 years from a technology standpoint, because we are a hardcore product technology company.
Right.
Our strength is technology. So we understand that space well, and we try to relate the problems in the banking space from a technology standpoint, that how this problem can be solved through a technology. Then we come back to our drawing rooms and think that how can we solve that which is going to hit them in next 3-4 years.
Right.
Right. So that's where the Innovation Council comes, which is housed under CTO's office. Pretty much day in, day out, the work is what is the problem of future, right? And that's where we talk of AI and ML today. We have been using that for the last decade or so. Different form of ML. You can keep changing the names.
I know, yes.
But I consider it like the onion, where you keep unwrapping and peeling one by one, and you get to the next level of advancement from an AI standpoint. Earlier ML, then AI, then Gen AI, you can keep talking. We use it in different forms and shapes. And the innovations are such, which is primarily going to address the pain points of the end consumers for these 4 pillars that I spoke about. So capital market, what is the end user's needs, and how technology can bridge that gap between the provider and the end consumers.
Right.
That's what we are trying to solve, right? It's a long journey, but I don't think we have finished that complete journey. There is still unfinished part. But what I'm trying to hint here is that we have built product to completely disrupt the way the customer uses the financial services today.
Right.
When we started, a typical loan journey, or if you apply for any financial product, would anywhere take between a fortnight to a month. Few complex products will take even 90 days.
Right.
Today, I think we have started ourselves, comparing ourselves, the financial industry, with the Swiggies of the world, which is instant delivery, instant experience, right? But when we started, nothing was there. But we had also the vision that will help these institutions digitally transform and give that experience which customers are experiencing today, which is like real time, 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
All of that, right? So I think we could help power them and help them digitally transform.
Absolutely.
And we will keep moving in that direction from an innovation standpoint.
Takes a lot of effort. When you mentioned the last piece where you're trying to be at par with companies like Swiggy or a Google or an Amazon for that matter. So I remember having this conversation with Rajiv Anand, who was the retail banking head at Axis Bank, and this is 2016, and he told me that banks would no longer be banks. They would be tech companies offering financial services.
Right.
And it is thanks to players like you who have evolved over the years, to push them in that direction. Coming back to Perfios again, are you looking to expand beyond India? I'm sure you're present in other regions as well.
Absolutely, we are already present in about 18 countries. But we started with, again, like a humble beginning in India. We had a briefcase strategy which is most of the companies in India start like that. So we went to the adjacent geographies, which is South Asia, then expanded to Southeast Asia, then Middle East, now Africa. So different continents from
Right.
that perspective. Now KSA, and very soon we are looking to expand to US, right? But while we are present in these 18 geographies, the first objective is to strengthen our presence in these geographies and open up the new geographies, which is the US.
Right.
Why? The reason is when we built the platform very early on, I mean, let's say 2010, the objective was very clear in our head, made in India for the world.
Right.
Reason, the problems, if not same, are very similar.
True.
Okay, everywhere. The financial literacy is low in some pockets. The access to formal finance and financial credit is lower in a lot of places. Structured products are not available.
Right.
Their data consistency is not there. The data availability is not there. Curation of data is not there. And hence, the way you provide the financial service or products
Right.
to your end consumers is not seamless. The experience is not
Right.
seamless. So it's the same problem back home and outside. So when you're creating back home to address those challenges, why not make a product which is exportable?
True.
That helps not only us as a company, but also the reputation for the country,
Right,
because
right.
we're producing and exporting, right? So I think that was always an objective, and that's just showing the results. I would still say very early on, but it still started showing results, and we are very excited that all these products have definitive use cases and acceptability across the globe.
Across the globe. Just out of curiosity, Sabya, what percentage of business would that contribute to your overall?
So our aim is roughly about 25% odd. Today it does about 9 to 10% odd.
So you've
We
grown that.
will end the year hopefully between 12 to 15%.
In terms of your overall business, how profitable you are, and what is the target that you're looking at for FY24?
We are profitable now, and like every year, we have been growing 100% year on year
Oof.
for last 5 years. But as the company scales and comes to a point, any company for that matter should temper down a bit. So despite that, we have taken a very, very aggressive growth targets.
Okay.
Profitability lies about 18% for last year, and we have taken on top of it another about 5-7% addition for this year as well.
Right.
So that's where we will.
Absolutely. So that's strong going ahead,
Absolutely.
Final question to you. What is your plan for your IPO?
So I keep on saying this, so I will repeat that for you. In 18 to 24 months, we plan to hit the market. Having said that, some is in our control, some is not.
Right.
The market is not in our control. So we leave that to the market to decide, the macro to operate the way it is. If the time is right, we'll go. If the time is not right, we may have to hold on for a long. That's fine. Internally, we are getting prepared from all the aspects. Our strength is technology, as I said. We are strengthening further. Our strength is also people. Our strength is also customer centricity.
True.
And that's why you see the latest two announcement. We got our chief technology officer from one of the largest player. We got chief people officer, Anu, to take care of the people and how the people has to align. So I think these are two core things for the company from day one. That's in our DNA. And I think we are strengthening all our internal processes, systems that is required for hitting the market. That includes risk, compliance, risk management, the market understanding, the global expansion, all of it. And we feel at a reasonable time, which is between 12 to 18 months, we should be ready for looking at the market. Of course,
Absolutely.
given that macro is supporting us at that.
Absolutely. My best wishes to you, and hopefully
Thank you.
you should hit the IPO in the next 18-24 months, Sabya. Thank you so much for speaking with us. It was a pleasure having this conversation with you.
Thank you. Absolutely. Pleasure is all mine as well.
That was Sabyasachi Goswami, CEO Perfios, speaking with us. Do stay tuned for more such videos on ET Edge Insights. Thank you.